Chapter 4, Contemporary Woman and Contemporary Man. This book is for you, being a contemporary woman and contemporary man, and our quite simple world. A book with a theory, methodology, and adjustment tools for the divergent age we live in, for the diversity groups where divergent gender roles meet, where the ends come together, where everything comes together, for the intelligent leader, the innovative entrepreneur, the individual employee, or just you who seek new horizons and thought forms, where the balance between the opposite poles becomes the focal point. For you, being a father, a mother, the businessman or businesswoman, for you who seek balance and understanding. How you handle it when you fall short with the well-known company and personality profiles, and lack tools and overview to be able to navigate with the diversities in balance. When all the courses, education, treatments or therapy hours, where you have spent time on finding solutions, developing yourself or finding tools to be able to solve your challenges, do not help you. We change and develop all the time, depending on circumstances, life situations, and our age. Many situations of our lives are emotional or create effects on our emotional lives, no matter if we are fact-based or emotional as a type of person. Here you shall get a holistic toolbox which will help you universally to navigate in your private or professional life, regardless of gender or type of personality or profile. The adjustment tools you are going to receive during the day can help you through various life situations, no matter which personality profile you have. It's not about what type you are, but about who you are, which is your personal signature, being your energetic signature, your fingerprint, your physical signature, which nobody else has. You shall get tools you need for being able to navigate in the given situation you are in. All personality profiles, irrespective of competences and level of understanding ability, can advantageously navigate with the emotional intelligence, which is connected to the concrete and fact-based intelligence. We can all see and feel clearly if we learn to look through all the filters which life, our families, cultures, society, religions, norms, taboos, and traditions set for us, so that we can fit into the collective consciousness that has been decided for us, even before we consciously choose our way and inner being. We shall be able to understand the cause, why a certain thought form is the cause of our challenges and diseases, physical as well as mental, challenges causing stress, anxiety, and physical pain, bad economy or relations, in order to change and remove the beliefs and thought forms that prevent us from being free human beings, which we originally are and were created to be. The world of dualities and the philosophies behind you create your inspiring story and your original energetic competence signature based on your EQ combined with your IQ. Storytelling from real life about the balance and the interaction between the feminine and the masculine in the private and professional life of our age. Your thought form, which you yourself create and own. By designing your own unique and original signature and thought form, you will be able to access your own hidden resources and to convert these into useful tools for yourself in your everyday life, in your company, and for your employees. Emotional and operational management. This concept also helps people who lead, administer, or create systems and products, develop and allocate their combined intelligence so that they can achieve more conscious, quality-based results. combined consciousness as their full capacity, and thus create and optimize opportunities to use their full emotional and operational capacity. Female-male management is short for the consciousness of the feminine and masculine intelligence, regardless of gender, based on emotional and operational management and emotional and operational capacity. The operational capacity. Organic instincts, operational intellect, ego's instincts, which are inborn childhood's ego, developed inborn ego, which can be positive or negative ego. Operational capacity consists of all our operational abilities, such as innovation ability, integration ability, capacity ability, wholeness ability, coincidence ability, divergent ability, potential ability, sustainability, possibility ability, probability ability, and a rejection factor. It relates to our change ability as a variable change, as constant change, shifting change, combined change, or motivating change. When we talk about potential ability, we mean all possibilities for development and growth. Sustained ability are those sustained abilities which survive and are resilient through resistance, rejection, phase out, and completion. Possibility ability are the skills making way for different perspectivations to find potentials and solutions. Probability ability are abilities which work out and calculate, and by this reformat the not concrete into the concrete as statistics or our organic instincts. A rejection factor is a factor that can be used for the required phasing out, calculates the extent of resistance or the desired change processes. In the notes accompanying this audiobook, there is a diagrammatical summary of this operational condition of our organic instincts. When we talk about change ability, there are a number of examples, such as variable change, which are changes being different and variable, dependent on the combined condition abilities and conditions of the energies, or changes based on several units in an interaction. Constant change are changes on which the dualities are always built. They always exist and are the cause of life, movement, development, and phasing out. Shifting change, where changes take place from a constant condition on to a combined condition. Combined change are changes which contain several of the above points in an integration and convert complexity into simplicity. Changes which several units in a system create together. Motivating change are changes which inspire and create motivation for the perspectivation of more opportunities. Sustained change are needed and bearing changes like the seasons. Dynamic change are changes that shift, stop, and initiate action and energy, influence others, the intuitive intellect. Time-based changes are predetermined changes with a time limit. Probable and statistic changes are foreseen changes based on calculations and the logical intellect. Possible changes are changes based on consciously chosen solutions, while changes of the free will are independent and self-thought changes being of benefit to a unit, the positive ego. The emotional capacity. Emotional intellect relates to humanitarian intuition, our inborn or childhood's emotions, developed emotions, combined emotions, which can be positive or negative. Emotional capacity consists of all our operational abilities, such as cause and effect, passion and growth, failure and phasing out, success and balance, resistance and rejection, motivation, change and vulnerability. or cause and effect where happiness is passion, unhappy, failure, anger is resistance, peace is success, and vulnerability, motivation and tools for transformation between the various energy forms, which is change. In the notes accompanying this, there is also a diagram summarizing this thought on emotional condition and dynamic intuition, and showcasing the relationship between operational capacity and emotional capacity with a combined intelligence and combined consciousness. As we define the masculine energies or abilities as the opposite pole to the feminine energies or abilities, then they create a duality which exists linearly and meets in the loop of time at zero, where the various conditions cease in their integration and create a wholeness as the gender we were born in. We all have both of these energies, which form our abilities within their functions and abilities. A designation as a man or woman denotes only our physical condition as a gender identity, a physical identity. We all contain a combined intelligence, combined consciousness, an emotional and operational capacity, and thus management abilities which norms identify us as feminine and masculine. The feminine as well as the masculine energies contain the concrete and tangible energies, the not concrete and not tangible energies, the stagnant energy in dormancy, unconscious abilities which are placed in our blind spot, and unconsciousness. Much of the masculinity we define ourselves by today is based on the cultural, religious, and societal norms and learnings we have brought with us from infancy. As a consequence of meta-duality theory, there are only equal units with their opposite poles, being necessary to exist. This means that we all have both abilities and energies within us, biologically. Our right and left part of the brain meet in the duality as anything else, and in the present tense, in the loop of time, are being integrated, changed, transformed between their opposite poles. Well, except for the physical conditions, being very different from each other in terms of genital size and physical size. And then our understanding abilities are equally big in both opposite poles, and both genders are able to manage both energy forms. Thus, there are both a feminine masculinity and a masculine femininity, according to the meta-duality theory. It is absolutely incredible how much we are characterized by our thought forms and beliefs, which are created by the history of time. Sure, a man might be able to lift more, but that doesn't mean he is more energetic or can keep more focus than me just because he's a man. It is his physical condition which creates the terms for him, not his forms of intelligence. Stop right here. Do we then mean to believe that our physical condition is decisive over the intelligence of the brain and the various abilities we possess as human beings? Do we then believe that a black man born in Africa is more energetic or wiser than an Asian man? Is he more intelligent, more masculine? Do we believe that original Asian men are less masculine due to their size? Or that a tall woman from Europe who might be able to lift a little Asian man is more masculine? So, yes, there is a difference between men and women, and thus between what they can do, just as there is a difference between women and women, as well as between men and men. Our intelligence and abilities are not dependent on our genitals or how big our physical body is. This does not mean that these men are more feminine or that these women are more masculine. These men are able to do more of the things which the norms have taught them or imagined them as being identified as feminine or only feminine, which is actually part of the inborn energetic and physical genetics. If they did not have the feminine abilities in their control system, which they could develop, then they could not learn to further develop themselves and make use of the opposite poles in themselves. That's logic to me. A man can only develop a femininity because he is born with this part or ability. It is only a question about which of our abilities we make use of and what we focus on developing the most. This development is simply the effect of further development of the understanding and further development of the gender roles, and thus the release from the old norms so that both can develop freely with all their inborn abilities in balance. I love the meta-duality theory, as it really is a thought form for a balanced success, where equality is created between all kinds of opposite poles, no matter if it is operational or emotional, feminine or masculine. It all comes together and creates a balanced thought form. To me, the energy formula is the formula for success, according to the law of nature and whatever we are created in and with. Minus and minus cause rejection. This means that if you and I meet each other with our masculine side, without taking the feminine part into account, then we will reject each other and end up in disagreement and create chaos. No matter if I am a man or a woman. Therefore, we will always meet our opposite poles, and if we are to develop, phase out or change anything, then the opposite poles are likely to meet each other, first in a rejection, so that afterwards they can meet in agreement in the middle, the loop of time at zero, for an agreement. This agreement is not about our not being opposite poles to each other anymore, but about our using the wholeness, and thus minus in plus in us, as the feminine and masculine sides in us, to attract an agreement. So, yes, the meta-duality theory and energy recipe is the formula for how we can develop as human beings in diversities, with our own inner diversities with feminine and masculine abilities, regardless of gender. The formula for converting failure into success and sustained happiness. This is why I wrote that men are teachers of women in self-love and women of men in management. The old thought forms, which put women on a bench at home, telling them that they were suitable for children, housekeeping, and listening to their husbands only. Or the thought form that men are better than women at leading and are not as emotionally oriented, do not hold true here. Both genders contain both abilities and forms of intelligences equally. Everything is about beliefs and what we learn to develop the most in our childhood and to believe in. In the accompanying notes, there is a diagram that depicts this relationship between man and woman, duality in balance and duality in imbalance.